Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet, and another heavyweight news mashup video today, starting with Oleksandr Usyk and Joyce. A little bit of back and forth on social media. Usyk saying on Twitter to Joyce, "Come on, my friend, I'm waiting for you at the Olympic Stadium in Kiev." And you can see here the Olympic Stadium. Joyce responds saying, "You're alive. You couldn't fill a bath in Kiev, let alone a stadium. See you in the UK very soon. P.S. I miss you. Hashtag the Juggernaut." So Joyce and Usyk reportedly for the WBO interim title. The fight's been talked about, hasn't been made yet, but obviously a bit of banter back and forth here. More than likely it probably ends up in the UK, but I guess we will see. Usyk, though, probably waiting to see what happens with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, whether that fight gets made, bearing in mind he is currently the mandatory challenger. Lots of things to shake down in the heavyweight division, dominoes to fall, and then I think a few different fights will be confirmed and made. One of them potentially, though, is Filip Hrgovic and Michael Hunter, which is reportedly going to be for an IBF eliminator. So you can see here on screen, this is a post from Hrgovic's social media. So he's done a bit of a media session in Croatia for local reporters to talk about that IBF eliminator. I don't speak Croatian, so obviously I couldn't follow what was going on. But Michael Hunter, he's actually been sparring Ivan Daichko, so getting in some work with the taller guy. Daichko, a two-time Olympic bronze medalist, and pair of Filip Hrgovic in the amateurs. So decent sparring, though Daichko really hasn't fired a shot in his career as a pro so far, but Hunter there getting some good work. Junior Farr, the beaten New Zealand heavyweight who lost to Joseph Parker just a week or so ago, is saying that he's got a new lease on his boxing career. So he says he had his longest layoff out of the ring of my pro career, and I'm glad I was welcomed back with 12 rounds with an ex-champ. Many things to work on, many routes I can take, and they all lead to the top. This fight reignited something that I thought I had lost, my true passion for fighting. I'm feeling like my old self, and I'm glad the world got to see a glimpse of what I can do. Just a peek, because I will be getting better and better at a scary pace. The O is gone, nothing to lose, everything to gain. Who's next? You'll been put on notice. Hashtag Team Farr and a few other hashtags. So Junior Farr's saying that he's found something that he thought he had lost, and that the heavyweight division is on notice. I think based on that performance against Joseph Parker, where it really was a little bit of a stinker, a lot of clinching from Farr, effectively tied Parker up and nullified him, but I don't think people will be quaking in their boots that Junior Farr is coming. I think he needs to show us a bit more before saying he is going to the top, because at this point, he's only fought at a certain level, and when he did step up to a better level against Parker, he lost. He was competitive in that fight, but he's got to do a bit more on the offensive end to win those sorts of fights too. But yeah, good luck to Junior Farr. We'll see where he goes in the next few years. Oleksandr Povetkin has been training with the former amateur standout Magomedrasul Majidov, who turned pro in the past couple of years, but has been halted in his progress in the division by the pandemic. So Majidov, good work for Povetkin. And if we turn to Dillian Whyte, he's been having some good sparring for March the 27th, sparring with the veteran cruiserweight Matthews Masternak. And speaking of sparring, Anthony Joshua has had a couple of German heavyweights, or I should say one heavyweight and a cruiserweight in the UK giving him some work. So you can see here you've got Anthony Joshua with Emmanuel Odiase. And Odiase came to note about 2 years ago when he was in the camp with Deontay Wilder, ahead of Wilder's fight with Fury. And also Peter Kadiru has also been in the UK sparring Anthony Joshua, saying, "Back in London, got good sparring with the heavyweight champion at Anthony Joshua," and a bunch of hashtags. And not for the first time, Peter Kadiru was one of the guys that sparred Joshua ahead of Joshua's rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr., so well known to each other. Kadiru himself is the German champion, unbeaten in about 10 fights. Fabio Wardley, the British heavyweight who currently holds the English title, is potentially setting his sights on Kash Ali if Ali can beat David Price, if he can in fact get that fight. So Ali and Wardley have been trading a few barbs on social media. Ali saying, "You take care of old man Molina and I'll deal with Price before he can get his hands on you. See you later this year for the British or Commonwealth, hopefully both." And then Fabio Wardley responding, "Molina's 38, Price 37. Your guy's just as old. And your 11th fight, you went the distance with a 9-win, 11-loss Harry Miles," whoever that is, and then an emoji. The Colombian heavyweight Oscar Rivas, who fights out of Canada, is going to be on pay-per-view for his upcoming fight with journeyman Silveris Luis, who has an 8-5 record. These two have history, having fought in 2012, Rivas taking a majority decision in that one. And you can see here by the graphics, so it's going to be $40 Canadian and $29.99 US dollars to see Rivas, you would hope and expect, to blow out this journeyman, who back in 2012, sure, Rivas was quite raw and fresh in the heavyweight division, but these days he should be taking care of him. But on pay-per-view, certainly a question. I know it's the pandemic, but that certainly is a decent chunk of change for a pretty pedestrian main event. The American heavyweight Jermaine Franklin has teased that he's got a ring return coming soon, saying major announcement coming. Jermaine Franklin, currently 20-0, promoted by Dmitry Salita, last seen going the distance with Pavel Sauer. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.